I am a betting man, and I wager that you need better underwear. Stick around till the end of this video, though you're probably stuck down there already, for essential info on Sheath underwear, the best skivvies in the biz. Things are beginning to get hot over on CNN on the show of Abby Phillip. No S on the end, it's just Abby Phillip. So when you hear people say Abby Phillip's show, it's Abby Phillip apostrophe S. Just a little lesson, a little lesson for you. Scott Jennings is becoming increasingly agitated, unable to do the job he's been hired by CNN to do because he's losing argument after argument after argument. But that should not become as any surprise to you, because when you come with Trump talking points, that's what you get. Scott Jennings is a propaganda sock puppet for Donald Trump. Donald Trump shoves his hands right up his ass and moves and works his mouth to repeat the lies that he sees fit to shove down the throats of America. Every night, that's what he does. He lies, he obfuscates, and he promotes and disseminates propaganda from Donald Trump's campaign, from Donald Trump's now transition team, of all the promises that have been made by Donald Trump, all the promises that Donald Trump thinks he's going to be able to. He doesn't think he's going to be able to. He thinks he's going to be able to convince the American people of these promises, these lies. Yesterday, things came to a head. I've got a clip here where he tells Bakari Sellers, "Don't touch me." And it wasn't like Bakari Sellers was slapping him on the back. It was, he gestured to him and tapped him on the shoulder, gently pressed his hand lightly against his shoulder and was told, "Don't touch me." To which Abby Phillip had to say, okay, let's keep our hands to ourselves. Maybe Scott Jennings is going to freak out. The physical weakling, Scott Jennings, is going to freak out. But first, I want to show you what led to this. I think this was the moment that culminated. This was at 10:04 p.m. Eastern Time, where Catherine Rampell, I don't know how to say her last name, just was dunking. She created a basketball out of the dome of Scott Jennings and then just dunked with it all night long. And it became so frustrating that finally it culminated with him telling Bakari Sellers, "Don't touch me." Here's about 2 minutes and 10 seconds or so of him coming to the table with lies and propaganda, having that swatted away, and him becoming more and more frustrated. Watch this.
And of course, Trump is saying, I would like to bring prices down during the election. But the real anger in the electorate was and will remain with the administration that oversaw the huge inflation in the first place.
Except that all of the things that Trump is promising now in his economic agenda will make inflation worse.
Cheaper energy?
First
make
of all,
it worse?
Oil production is at an all-time high. We are producing more oil per day in this country than any country has in history.
I think energy producers would tell you the government is put a boot on their
Trump's own donors in the fossil fuel industry.
About that we are producing more oil now than even when Trump was in office.
Well, it's more.
That's a fact.
It's about more than just oil production. There's all sorts of refining capacity,
we're producing
pipeline
record
capacity.
high levels of natural gas.
Look,
we're producing
I know your favorite pastime is to come out here and talk over me, but just please.
I care about the facts. I care about the facts.
The reality is, if you talk to anybody in the energy business, if you talk to anybody,
he says things that are wrong.
Well,
and I interrupt him and correct him because our job is to inform our audience.
I'll just wait.
Hang on 1 second. Scott,
no, it's fine. Go ahead.
Finish
no.
your point.
Look, I play this game every time we come out here. The legitimate answer is he's going to do stuff on energy. He's going to take regulatory shackles off of the energy producers. If you talk to anybody in the energy business who produces, refines, deals with pipelines, this administration, Democrats in Congress, have put shackles on what they can do.
Why is energy production at a record high?
If you take the shackles off, the prices will go down.
No,
it should help.
I guess what I'm wondering is, why won't you answer the point that she's making, which is that if it's so bad, why is energy production
I didn't dispute it.
Higher than it was under Trump? And on top of that, Trump was asked a very simple question. If you promised the American people that you'd bring prices down and then you failed to do that, is that not a problem? Is that something that the American people will judge him on?
If he brings energy prices down, and if he extends the tax cuts, And he generally implements an economic climate in which incomes can rise and certain things do come down. And he tells the American people the truth about what he's doing the entire time. I think politically it will be okay.
Again,
Catherine Rampell is she's the Jessica Tarloff of CNN. That's probably an insulting reference rather than just being the Catherine Rampell of CNN. I get that. But she's doing a good job of batting back every single lie and distortion of reality that Scott Jennings is there to provide to an audience, which is a question in and of itself of why Scott Jennings has a job at CNN when he does not tell the truth, ever. He doesn't even bend the truth. He just lies, talking about energy production when what she said is absolutely true. It's the same nonsense about grocery prices. Things are better now than they were under Donald Trump, objectively. And it's got to be frustrating for a guy to be on a panel with people who are armed with facts, who are armed with data and statistics and reality on their side. He can't handle it, which is why this is what took place when Bakari Sellers, sitting next to him, gently pressed his hand against his shoulder, gesturing to whom he was speaking.
Things were real. What Scott was not accurate about, which kind of happens around the table sometimes, although I know you want to be.
Don't touch me.
I can't touch you.
All right, everybody keep your hands to yourselves at the table.
All right, but one of the things Scott was not accurate about, though.
Don't touch me. What a coward. What a weakling. All for the drama. All for the drama, because nothing's going to happen. Most of this episode, or a great portion, maybe most is a stretch, a great portion of this particular episode of the show last night was dedicated to Scott Jennings attacking black women, especially, the WNBA. So it's no surprise that he would bristle, he would become frightened when a black man would put his hand on him. And it wasn't, look, that's not just playful back and forth. That was harumph, crossing his arms, the despondency in his face. He was irritated. Maybe find a better job or do a better job at your job, Scott Jennings. Anyway, what do you think? I would love to know. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. You can also, of course, always comment below. That helps the algorithm to share this content with new people. If you're not subscribed already, I am really pressing to get to 900,000 as quickly as we can, growing this operation. Independent media being in the state that it is and facing the dangers that it does, your participation in this conversation is greatly appreciated. So please subscribe, like, share this video, do all the things that help with the YouTube algorithm, which we're always battling. If you want to help support this work by becoming a channel member, you can click the join button below. $2 a month. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help support this work. You can also venture over to dollemore.info. Check out the new website. We got a bunch of products there, merch, mugs, and stickers, all that, which you get something tangibly in return. All that goes to help support this show and this effort. We think what we do is important, and I hope you do too. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another. There are so many unknowns in life. It often feels like a game of chance. Things often turn out differently than expected, despite the best planning or intentions. Interest rates, that fancy bottle of wine you bought, heck, the election, so much feels like a gamble. One thing you do not have to speculate on, your underwear, or mine for that matter. Designed by a U.S. military soldier while in Iraq, a guy who knows something about steaks, Sheath Underwear's dual pouch system ensures your package won't stick to your leg, while also giving everything some space by separating your gambler from his dice. You see what I'm doing here? Thanks to this testicular tech, Sheath has successfully been protecting your most valuable assets for over 10 years. They are recommended by multiple doctors and urologists and have over 20,000 five-star reviews from customers like me. I'm one of those 20,000 reviews. My sheaths have been with me through thick and thin, both before I was a bit heavier than I am now, and now as the leaner version of me. Trademark or copyright that. I love these things. I think that's pretty clear. So no more garment gambling, all right? Head to sheathunderwear.com/Dollemore to score 20% off. You don't need to be a high roller. You see the theme here, the gambling and the dice and the... It's good, right? You don't have to be a high roller to have unbeatable underwear. My go-tos are the Airflow Mesh, but Sheath has tons of excellent styles and designs. All sheaths are backed by a 2-year warranty and will land on your doorstep near instantly thanks to blindingly fast shipping, which is free in the United States on orders over $75. Also, your purchase actually does affect positive change, and this is very important. Sheath supports multiple charities like Socks for Soldiers and Doctors Without Borders, so you're winning for the world too when you buy from Sheath. Don't roll the dice on your drawers. Score 20% off right now when you head to sheathunderwear.com/Dollemore. Real change starts with you and, believe it or not, your package. Upgrade your undergarments to Sheath.